Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Code Enforcement Nuisance Board of the City of Bowling Green, Kentucky, September 22nd, 2015. It's a little after 5 p.m. here in City Hall Commission Chambers. Will you please call the roll?
Yes. Deere.
Here.
Simpson.
Here.
Dearbone.
Here.
Wilder.
Here.
Thomas.
Here. The officers please stand and be sworn. Raise your right hands. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Okay, we have the minutes that have been mailed out. Anybody need any more time to go through them? If not, can I hear a motion to either accept them or change them?
So move. Second.
Simpson. Deere.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Dearbone.
Yes.
Wilder.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes. Do we have any comments or announcements from the board?
You wanted to discuss, I believe, the
Yes,
November meeting?
Yes, moving the November 24th meeting, because it's so close to Thanksgiving, to the week before, the Tuesday before. Is there a motion to do that?
Well, I will tell you this, and this is my fault. I was going to check on the available dates, and I failed to do that. I apologize. I can check that because I need to make sure the chambers are available and that there are no other conflicts on meetings. Do we need a motion to do that?
Yeah, why don't we do this, and if there needs to be another change, you can do it. Let's go ahead and change it.
Do it by telephone then?
Yeah, it's the 17th unless you hear otherwise.
October 17th?
No, November.
November.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Dearbone. Simpson.
Yes.
Deere.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Dearbone.
Yes.
Wilder.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes. The hearing and agenda appeals portion of the meeting, code enforcement. Case 2015-3150, citation 2015-2170. Location is 757 Old Morgantown Road. Owner is YB&R Investments, LLC. Respondent is Mr. Don Minton. Officer, Dr. Brad Shargowski. Is that close enough?
Shargorodsky.
Shargorowski. Okay. Okay, do you want to present your case then?
The case is a result of a roaming inspection that occurred on July 23rd, the property at 757 Old Morgantown Road. At that time, I observed overgrown grass on the property, a large number of vehicles parked on the grass, and numerous inoperable vehicles. The code in Bowling Green states that parking on the yard or storage of vehicles on grass is against code, as well as having inoperative or unlicensed motor vehicles on the property. At this time, we sent a notice of violation to the PVA listed owner and address and scheduled a reinspection compliance date of the 22nd of August. That was 30 days from the date of inspection, and that extra time was given instead of the usual 10 days to encourage compliance because there were so many vehicles. The pictures being shown are of the property on the date of the notice of violation and the initial inspection. The majority of the vehicles either have flat tires, are unregistered or unlicensed, or have significant body damage to them, and to which they appear to be inoperable. As you can see, the grass is also overgrown in the fenced-in portion and the right-of-way along Sharon Drive.
About how many vehicles did you notice out there?
I would say that there were at least 20 that are inoperable or on the premises that are unlicensed or have extensive body damage to them. On the 24th of August, I performed the compliance reinspection, found that the property was still in violation. There were no changes made at that time. The photos shown there are of posting the citation on the property. As you can see, the tires are still missing or flat on many of the vehicles. They're still unlicensed or unregistered. And the grass is still overgrown at that time. Reinspection date on the citation was the 3rd of September. However, that was since postponed due to the appeal that was filed by Mr. Minton.
Just looking at the pictures, it would appear to me that these cars have been there for a long, long time.
There-
It almost looks like a used car lot or a junkyard.
There is
I'm wondering
grass.
why all of a sudden now we have this need to issue a citation. Obviously, they're in violation, but why not before? Why not 6 months ago or a year ago or 5?
Unfortunately, I can't answer that question. I've only been with code enforcement for a few months now, and so this just came to my attention shortly after I began employment. These are the photos from this morning. The grass is mowed in several of the areas, including the fenced-in area. However, the right-of-way on Sharon Drive is still overgrown. There are still a few overgrown areas. The majority of the vehicles that were present at the time of the notice of violation and the citation are still present. And much like both of those times, the majority of the vehicles appear to be inoperable. They either have extensive body damage, flat or missing tires, or have no current registration or license on them.
What is this property anyway? I think Dr. Wilder kind of asked that. I mean, is this a business or is this a junkyard or what is it?
It is zoned as neighborhood business. As far as the intent of it, I'm not sure I can answer that.
And notices were sent to Mr. Minton or to his address?
Yes, sir.
How were they sent?
The original notice of violation was sent to the Briggs Hill address, which is the PVA listed owner and address. And the citation was also sent to that address and signed for, I believe, by Miss Minton after, on the date of the 24th when the citation was mailed to the same address.
24th of August?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay.
And that was sent by certified mail, so that's how we have the record that it was signed for.
So the green card came back then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Minton? Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I
So help
do.
you God?
I do. The first I heard about this was when they tagged the doors. They said they'd sent me a notice out the previous month. I didn't receive it by the mail. I've had problems with my mail up there at Riggs Hill. Matter of fact, Stephen Dixon up there brought me a certified notice that they left in his mailbox. He brought it up. I've gotten other people's mail anyway. I went and complained to the post office, and I've had better results since then. But no, this is a car lot. We've been in business for several years. The majority of these vehicles that's on that lot was, we had them stored over on Russellville Road, and I had to move them. We moved them over a lot because like I said, I do have a car lot. And they just, when Yancey and them moved them, they just brought them in and stuck them in a lot, and That used to be all gravelled. We didn't have any problems with the grass, but like I said, it's come through and these vehicles have probably been on there for 6 months, somewhere in that neighborhood. But it is zoned as a car lot, and I thought they could be there. This is the first I've heard that I couldn't have any vehicles over on the lot, on the car lot. The majority of them behind the fence are either repoed or there's only two or three that's got a lot of, that have been wrecked. Most of them are repos. And like I said, I know the grass was getting out of hand, but I've had some health issues and just can't get anybody over there. But that, like I said, I didn't know anything about it until the day they come over and said I owed a fine, and they posted it on the door.
Well, apparently, if it was sent certified mail, then if you didn't sign for it, someone did.
No, we've got the letter since then. That was the second letter that we got. They said they sent the first one out a month before. We just got the other one, and that they'd fined me for it, and that's what I appealed, was the fine, because I never did receive the first letter telling me that I had corrections to make. And again, I'm zoned to have a car lot there. I can have vehicles on the car lot.
Are these your vehicles?
Pardon?
Are these your vehicles?
Yes, sir.
What's
The majority of them on the back, behind the fence have been repoed. And, of course, when we repo one, you have to give the people so many days to come and try to make arrangements or whatever, and it's just gotten out of hand, to be honest with you.
Now, the vehicles that are being repoed, are you planning to fix them? Well, the inoperable ones, are you planning to fix them, or are they just gonna sit
We
there?
try to fix them. We try to go through and fix them, but my son used to be the mechanic, and he was partners with me, and he hasn't done anything now for probably 8 or 10 months. The last thing he done was moving from the Russellville Road location to the car lot and back to the majority of them back there, and that's been it.
Have all the cars been relocated?
You what now?
Have all of the cars been relocated from that location to the Topper View Mobile Home Park?
No, from the top of view to, the 757 Old Morgantown Road. Yeah, the majority of them, I think there's might be 2 or 3 left over at Topper View is all's left over at the Russellville location.
Oh, so,
Well,
okay.
they asked me to move them from that location, and matter of fact, we took probably 20, 25 cars to the junkyard from that location. The ones that was bad that we knew we couldn't do anything, and, wound up losing several $1,000s by doing that. I would say in the neighborhood of around $8,000.
Is there a sign out there that it's?
Yes, yeah, I've got a sign that says affordable things and used cars. Been there for, I want to say 12, 14 years. I've been there a long time. But like when I was talking to them, I told them, I said, this is the first time I was told that I couldn't have a car on my car lot, no matter what shape it is, Like I said, I've had some health issues. My son's had health issues, and it's just, matter of fact, I haven't bought a car, and I used to go every week and buy cars, but I haven't bought a car now in probably 6 or 8 months, because we've got to do something with what we've got here.
Is it possible for you to take the cars that you have, that since your son hasn't been able to fix them, to give them away or sell them to somebody else who can fix them and lessen the load you have?
Well, I'm going to do something with them. That's what I want to do. That's the business I'm in, is selling the cars. And, it's just, you'd be surprised at the people comes in that said they're mechanics, and a guy come in 3 weeks ago, and I let him take one of the cars. Well, he first to come in, and the Jeep that's on the lot, I had a hose or something that had to be fixed on it. He took it up, fixed it, cleaned the car up, and brought it straight back, and then I let him have another one. And that's been 3 weeks ago. He's supposed to have done the brakes, and haven't seen or heard from him since. Well, I heard from him a couple of times because I've called him and asked him what was going on. But, you know, a day's job, it didn't happen. And then now I'm taking some of my cars over at Floyd's. Matter of fact, I think he's got 2 of them over there now. I'm just rotating, he's fixing them up, I bring them back and I put them on the front of the lot and sell them.
Is the entire lot either paved or gravelled?
We had it all gravelled. When we first started out, that whole, the backfield where you see the majority of the cars, we put that black paper down that water can go through, put gravel on top of it. Had cars stored there for a while. We didn't really use that back there. And Mother Nature, I mean, the grass just come back, you know, it even come back through that paper. If they want to look, they can dig into that grass and you'll find there's 2 inches of gravel underneath of it. I've sprayed that with a chemical this week. It's supposed to kill all the grass, and when it kills the grass, I'm going to move the vehicles somewhere, and I'm going to have gravel put back on it, and then park the cars back there in an orderly fashion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion that we uphold the citation and fees on this and ask Mr. Minton and our code enforcement officers to go back in a month and see if we can get this cleaned up.
What does cleanup mean?
Well, it needs to get in within, it needs to be within code. Obviously, the grass is overgrown. They've got cars that are out there that hadn't been moved. And I'm looking at Mr. Sugarowski here and to make sure I'm saying the right thing.
And I would like to note that as far as the code states, this section shall not apply to business-owned property where 2 inoperable vehicles may be located. So to be within code.
We have had issues like this come before this board again with people that sell vehicles where the vehicles are on grass and other areas, and we've dealt with it in that same manner. So I want to be consistent in how we deal with Mr. Minton, and that's the reason I'm bringing up this motion.
And if it's cleaned up by the next meeting?
I'm going to say that we uphold the citation and fees as written today, because it seems to me that he's had time to take care of this.
A second?
Can I say something before you go there? When they sent the second notice, when they fined me, it was the first time that I'd ever heard about the thing. The letters, I never did receive the first letters on the property. When they come and find me, they find me for not correcting the problem.
And what date did you find out about that, the citation?
Whatever day they mailed them, put them on the door.
It was August 24th.
So you've had August 24th until when did you check this again?
September 3rd?
Well, today. The other photographs are from today.
Today?
Yes, sir.
We've been working. We got, if you look at the first photographs and the second, we've cut all the grass, and like I said, I've sprayed it. I'm just waiting for it to kill the grass and me put gravel back on it.
Have you been before this board before? I
Oh,
think I've
yes,
seen you.
yeah,
Okay.
I've got several rental properties, and
Sure.
I'm
I'm going to stick with the citation. I'm going to stick with the motion, as I just mentioned it, that we uphold the citation and fees of $106.75 on this property.
Second that motion.
Deere, Simpson, Deere,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Dearbone,
Yes.
Wilder,
Yes.
Thomas,
No. Ready, let me know.
I'm sorry.
Ready?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, the second case, case 2015-3152, citation number 2015-2176, at 1601 Sharon Drive, owner D&L Reynolds LLC, and again, respondents, Mr. Minton. Brad?
This case is also the result of a roaming inspection that occurred on the same date, which is July 23rd, of the property at 1601 Sharon Drive. During that inspection, I observed an accumulation of rubbish, trash, and refuse located outside, located on the outside of the premises, indoor furniture that was stored at an outdoor location on the premises, as well as a dilapidated deck located at the rear of the structure. These photographs that you're seeing now were taken on that date, and a notice of violation was again sent to the PVA listed owner and address on that date, with the reinspection day 30 days later, which was August 22nd. On August 24th, I re-inspected the property and found that the violations, the property was still in violation with no changes made. At that time, I posted the citation on the premises, also sent it by certified mail to the PVA listed owner and address, and took the photographs that you're seeing now. There's the deck, which is dilapidated, is caving in, bowing in the middle, which you can't quite see in that picture, but it bows down in the middle. There are several areas where the wood has broken. There's no railing or guardrail around the outside of the deck, and the rubbish and refuse inside, or indoor furniture, cabinets, and such are still in the same location that they were 30 days prior. On that citation, there was a reinspection date of September 3rd. However, the citation was appealed, and that reinspection did not occur. And I believe that we have photos from this morning as well of the property. As of today, the majority of the construction materials, cabinets, indoor furniture under the carport have been cleaned up. They are still existent, however, I would say a fair portion of them were moved to the back corner, where there's boxes and paint canisters and cabinets that are still present on the property. And as far as the deck goes, there's no noticeable changes that I could tell. The deck still appears to be dilapidated, still broken wood present, and it's still caving in the middle.
Mr. Minton, is anyone living at this property?
No, it's being refurbished. Matter of fact, that's what the problem was. I hired a guy to redo it. He went in, took all the kitchen cabinets out, stuck them outside. Matter of fact, he got them in the rain when he stopped working on the cabinets inside. I mean, that he had outside, we took and put underneath the carport. But most of them was done already damaged and ruined. As far as the deck, I apologize to you because I didn't read the thing. I noticed he said the rubbish around the deck. That's what I thought he was talking about. I removed all that rubbish from around there. You'll see 2 or 3 good cabinets. That's what's left of the kitchen. I've still got to going to have to find somebody to put the cabinets in, new cabinets. And we had some paint out there and some tile out there. Kitchen floor's been completely retiled along with the 2 bathrooms in the house, and it's been repainted, and all we like is putting the kitchen cabinets back up. But again, I didn't receive anything on that one until he posted it on the door. He done that the same day.
I would like to note that Mr. Minton, on the day that we had posted the citation, approached Code Enforcement Officer Tim Butts and I as we were posting one of the citations, this one on this property at 1601 Sharon Drive. We spoke with him at our vehicle along the roadside, and listed the violations, explained to him that there was the outdoor furniture, that there was the accumulation of rubbish and refuse, and also stated that the deck appeared to be dilapidated, it appeared to be a safety risk, and said that he could either repair that deck, remove the deck, and listed a few options at that time. So he was aware of all the violations. He did state that he did not receive the initial notice of violation that was sent on July 23rd. But again, that was on August 24th that we posted the citation.
And again, I'll agree with that, that's 100% correct. I went to the deck, of course, it's in the back of the house, in the corner there. The deck is fairly solid. I apologize, I should have got back to him on the railing. I didn't know what the code was for a railing on the deck. But as far as he's saying that the deck is unsafe there, the deck is solid. And it needs to be painted and railing put up if that's
If
what
it's
I
solid, I don't think I would want to walk on it.
Well, you're welcome to walk on it because it.
I don't think I'll take the
yeah,
chance,
yeah.
thank you.
Because I went up there and did that because I was thinking about tearing it down and you're talking about, if you had to replace the thing, you're talking about several $100 to replace the deck.
Mr. Minton, that's the deck that you say is solid?
Mm-hmm. All except for the rail up there, the railing is not. Somebody's tore the rail off right there.
Had you
You've got
not
other
planned to,
rental property too, you say?
You want to-
You have other rental property?
Yes, I do.
How many rental properties do you have, Mr. Minton?
30 plus.
30 plus. So you really know and understand how this property is supposed to be maintained, I think.
Well, I try to maintain them, but like I said, I haven't got any help right now, and I've had health issues, so
Understand?
I'd like to sell them off. If somebody would be interested in buying them.
You have other views of the deck other than this one that's up now?
Yes, on the day that we posted the citation, I believe that there's pictures a little bit closer up where you can see that the deck is sagging in the middle.
Just want to help you out a little bit too with the location of that residence. It's actually straight across from his business that we just got through talking about on Morgantown Road. So it's Morgantown Road, his business, Sharon Drive beside it, and then there's the house on the corner. So it's a stone throw from each other.
And you have anything else?
Again, I didn't receive the first letter from them, and that's unusual because it seems like I receive a letter from them on something every week. But just asked David. David called me about a chair that was on Nutwood, that upholstered chair that was out on the porch. I went straight that night and told the tenant to get the chair inside and get it out, But of course, he was in the process. He was going to move, and he didn't move the chair. Got a letter on it, and of course, I went back over there, and it was still there. And of course, I removed the chair that day. But I asked the tenant that night. I said, "Let's set it inside." And he said, "No, he would take care of it," and that was it.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we uphold the citation and the fine, please.
Second.
Simpson, Dearbone. Deer,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Dearbone,
Yes.
Wilder,
yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Okay. We'll have to see this lady over here.
I want to ask you on the Morgantown Road property. I've got additional 30 days to take care of that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's
Until October 27th.
October 27th. Okay, all right.
I think the same's true of this one, is it not?
Well, that was not in the motion. We can amend that, right? Mr. Broderick?
Well, you could, yeah, but it's to be done right away. There was not a time limitation.
ASAP then.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, then, old business, case number 2015-2486, citation number 2015-1811, the address 1605 Harmony Way, the owner, Dr. Janice Bunch, MD Officer David Herman, and Mr. Herman, where are we?
At the last meeting on September the 2nd, the order handed down by the board was that we inform Ms. Bunch, Dr. Bunch, of a suitable location as to where to put the 6 large planters, and to also remove the rest of the items that were listed in violation. On the 4th, I went to the residence at 1605 Harmony.
4th
And-
of September?
The 4th of September, correct. And I posted a copy of a letter drafted by James Napper instructing her to move the planters to the backyard and to remove the rest of the items that were in violation of the previous order. I also mailed a copy of this letter to the listed address for the owner in Memphis, and also a copy to the address at Harmony Way. I also posted on the property a copy of the findings of fact from the hearing on the 2nd. Posted those on the front door, and there are photos showing where they were posted at the door. Today, Officer Napper and I went by and made an inspection at the property. We observed that the 6 large planters at the front of the property had been moved. 3 of them have been moved along the side of the driveway, and the other 3 are up close to the sidewalk on the side of the house. At present, it appears as though all the code violations have been met, and she is no longer in violation of the code. However, the planters are not placed where the letter instructed her to place them. So basically, it's at the discretion of the board where you want to go from here.
I think placing them up by the house was suggested at an earlier meeting. And
Correct.
I have no problem with the placement where they are. Does anyone else?
Where were they told to be placed at the last meeting?
At the last meeting, it was left for us to instruct Dr. Bunch as to where it would be acceptable. It
Right.
was left for us to determine acceptable location. A letter was drafted and sent stating that they need to be moved to the backyard. And that was where it was left at that time. And today's inspection, again, where they are is not a violation of code. It's just a violation of where the instructions were for them to be placed.
Back that up, Tim, if you don't mind, please. What's that?
That is some type of child's toy dinosaur or something, I'm not sure.
Does it? Well, we'll ask. Anything else? I didn't hear any response. Does anyone have a problem with where those were moved as opposed to being totally in the backyard?
I don't have a problem with that, no.
Okay. Dr. Bunch? You have representation?
I'm here representing her today. I've just have gotten into this. From what it sounds like, the court enforcement officer is informing the board that she has complied with the findings and the request. Did I hear right, or? did I hear
Half of it.
Half of it, okay. And he said the planters do not violate the code at this time?
Where they're placed,
Okay, where they're
where they're currently placed.
I understand. let me just say this, I always hate to get into something at the end, but after talking to her at length recently, I could tell she needed counsel in understanding what the ordinance said and what it didn't say. I think she's possibly has received bad counsel or advice over the past month or two, possibly. She has never seen the ordinance itself. She has received the notice which listed the ordinance, but if it would be possible, I feel very confident that she can come in complete compliance, or we can work something out if we could have a 30-day or a 60-day continuance and let me read the ordinance. I'm not sure, looking at what's in the planters, they appear to be legal plants that would be excluded from, quote, rubbish or anything that would be prohibited. I could be wrong, but apparently they are ornamental plants. One was a tomato, I believe. And
There were 6 tomatoes.
and I know this has been an ongoing thing now. It's a shame she didn't come to me 3 months ago, or another attorney. But it is what it is. People don't like to spend money on lawyers. We're expensive. And I came here today, quite frankly, out of concern for her situation, but also needing or seeing that there was a need for her to receive good legal counsel regarding her obligations, and with the hope that I could help resolve this and make it easier on the board and the citizens of Bowling Green, as well as Dr. Bunch. I understand you're saying she's not in complete compliance. It seems like she's gone a long way. There could be a real question about whether the planters, even where they are in violation of the ordinance. I don't know. I haven't read the ordinance yet. So,
Well, I think what we're saying is that where they have been moved is acceptable to both the staff and to this board.
okay, well, that's
So that's not an issue anymore.
okay.
So you can get or obtain the written materials, but it's not going to make any difference.
Okay, well, what are the issues at this point?
I think the issue at this point was there was a fine and a finding earlier on, and that has been voted.
I think she is in compliance. Are you saying she's in compliance now or not?
I'm saying she is in compliance at this time, but it's taken, 3 or 4 months to get there. There was a motion and a second and a vote that she was not, and she was fined, I believe, what was
$880.
$880. That's been done.
Had she not been in compliance tonight, she would have had to pay the balance of the $4,400, which
So right now, you're saying she's going to owe $800,
right.
$880.
$880.
That's correct.
The total for this one was actually $1,286.75 because of the last citation fee as well, included with the $880.
Well, just a second, just a minute. Is there any way, any provisions under the code that the board could, in judicial court, we call probate that or suspend that on certain conditions for up to a year? That would be an incentive for her to keep in compliance and not create any other issues.
That was already done, Mr. Chairman. That's what you did in suspending the $4,400.
Yes.
which was 2 months ago.
Sir, I'm sorry, what did you say your name was? I
I'm
didn't.
sorry, my name is Thomas, and Tom, no, I practice in Russellville.
Russellville?
I apologize for not introducing myself initially.
Okay. Well, I'm fairly new on the board also, Code Enforcement Board, but I have been here before. And I don't think this is the first time that this board has had issues with that property. As a matter of fact, all the people to your left, sitting in the audience, have testified, I guess you want to use it, to this board. They're neighbors of Dr. Bunch. So it's not something new that's just happening in the last, couple months.
Well, I understand it. It looks like the initial notice was in May of this year. I've seen that.
That's for this year.
This year.
You can go back maybe further, I believe. in the records. Just wanted to share that with you.
Sure, thank you.
I think the incentive is if the problem comes back again, the neighbors possibly will complain again and we'll be back here. So that'll be, what, a repeat offender at that point? For the same offense?
I believe it's if the fines are unpaid. If the fines are paid, if I'm not correct.
If they're unpaid, okay.
Right.
Okay, how, can she have some time to pay the fines?
I don't know.
I'm not really sure what the guidelines are. That's all paid through the treasurer's office and finance. I can give you their phone number if you want to contact them about even payments.
Are there any provisions in the ordinance, Mr. Broderick?
No, they're not.
Okay,
It's due and payable now.
okay.
Although from today, since this is a final action, you do have the right to appeal to the Warren District Court.
Correct.
This is a court of video record, or a hearing of video record, and you can obtain a copy of the video.
Okay,
We're liable.
the video would be of all the different proceedings that
Yes, it
you've had.
would.
Are the various photographs, are they part of that record?
Yes, they
I
are,
have a
and
hearing.
she's made an open records request, and I have those for you right now
Okay,
to give them to you.
okay, very good. Well, I guess there's nothing else we can do here this evening from what I'm hearing, so thank you gentlemen for your time, and we will move on.
Counselor, do we need to make another motion, or is it finished?
I think it's finished, Mr. Chairman.
All right.
Thank you.
Dr. Bunch, thank you for moving the pots. Appreciate that. Well, somebody did.
Some very fussy people from church moved.
Good.
Yes, yes.
Well, you were responsible for getting the move. Thank you.
Well, it is damaging my property and it is not in a good location. Yes. It may, if it pleases the board, may I show you a proclamation from the governor regarding native plants?
We don't need that.
Desirability of planting native plants for the butterflies and other pollinators.
Thank you. Okay, the next item of business is the consent agenda at the end of your packet, August 23rd through September 12th, 2015, for the amount of $4,864.75. Do I have a motion to accept them in bulk?
So moved.
Appropriate, yes.
Who made the motion?
Second.
Dearbone, Simpson. Deere,
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Dearbone,
Yes.
Wilder,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes. There being no other business, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Deere,
Yes.
Dearbone, Deere,
Neighbors, thank you.
Simpson,
Yes.
Dearbone,
Yes.
Wilder,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.